Okay, let's give this a go. How was everybody's week? Mine was kind of a disaster. I cried a lot last week. There was a lot of crying. And I'm not really a big crier person. Like, it takes a fair bit. Like, usually I cry over politics, not over, like, situations in my own personal real life. I'll just, like, see a post or a news article and just my world will be turned upside down, which happened last week, which I'm actually just not going to go into because I already talked about it in an episode since last Wednesday's episode as a bonus episode. So you're welcome, because that's a lot of fucking work sometimes. But also I obviously did just feel that I had to talk about it and say things. Also, I went through my cry phase and then I went to the beach and everything got better. And now I need somebody who goes to therapy to tell me what it means if I just today got the urge to get a second dog and also a neck tattoo. Like, am I happy or am I unwell? Like, which one is it? Do I need assistance? I do need assistance. I need so much assistance. Yeah, I think this episode might be a teeny little bit of a disaster because my brain is all over the place. I have been putting this off all evening and texting anyone I can, playing chess games with anybody that I can, and checking Instagram notifications and Facebook notifications, trying to find a roommate at any point that I can to kind of just avoid exactly what I'm supposed to be doing, which, as I speak, actually, is a genuine symptom of ADHD that manifests in my own personal life, which is actually what the episode topic is about. It's about ADHD, because I felt like I needed a break from politics and social situations and everything that's going on in the world. So we're going to talk about ADHD, because that's just, like, fun. Like, you know? So the story time I'm gonna do is, like, partially a story time, but partially a opinion, because I recently posted an episode about a 69 experience that I didn't super like, and someone said that they tend to enjoy that position, and I said, the story time, by the way, is 69 is a bad idea. It's not as fun. It's overrated. It's not as fun as we think. And this is my story that I'm going to relate to it to prove this to you. I said, maybe for the man, because you're just fucking laying there having a great time, and we're on top, and my fucking forearm is sore, and I need to switch between forearms, and, like, I get distracted if you're doing a good job, and then you get distracted if I'm doing a good job, and going up and down, like, when you're propping yourself up in that, it's not easy, it's not fun, it's probably my least favorite position. And then this person said, well, what if the man goes on top? And I was like, oh, you haven't tried this before, because if you had, you'd know it's a bad idea, and this is why, because I tried it, and my ex-boyfriend and I tried it when I was, like, I don't know, 18, 19, and obviously this is not a family-friendly episode in the first probably 8 minutes or so, roughly. Too far in to really warn people about that, but anyway. Okay, so if you're a woman and you're on the bottom, you're laying on let's say a bed, and then they're on top of you, and if they have their viewer discretion is advised, they're down in your mouth and, like, thrusting kind of into you a little bit, if they get into it, then the 69 doesn't really work, because you're being pushed into a mattress by a penis that is low-key suffocating you, and you can't move. Because in my experience, I was trying to move my head back further into the mattress, which obviously doesn't work, and I was laying there like, this is where I die, because I currently cannot breathe, and I have no way of breathing because this person is on top of me. And do you know what the real fucking kicker is? I was laying there and I was like, this is how I die. Where did their balls go? Think about it. in between your eyebrows, resting on your forehead. So I was laying there like, this is how I die. Like, suffocation via dick. Jesus Christ. And just balls resting on my forehead. This is where it ends. That's why 69 isn't a good idea. And if you've tried it before and you're a woman, you don't like it on top, and if you're a woman, you don't like it on the bottom, you know what? It's actually good for men both ways. Like, I can understand how you might think it's fun, but if you think about the woman's perspective on the top or the bottom, it's a lot of fucking work. Also, the angle for the guy, even if the girl is on top, isn't great. Like, you kind of need to put your hips, like, inward to get... Okay. I feel like I should put an additional warning on this. Like, 18 and over only, question mark? Maybe? No. Anyway, that's my story time to prove that 69 is not fun or a good idea, and it's overrated, and I don't like it. I like it for maybe 30 seconds, and after that I'm like, okay, the arm, you know. Let's move on forward to the episode topic, which is ADHD. Because I obviously have personal experience with that, and anybody that has probably spoken to me for longer than 45 seconds probably knows that or has a good idea of it. And I have only in the last year realized how much it actually affects my life and how specific of a group of people the neurodivergent community is. Like, we just function fucking different. And as a side note also, I don't think that self-diagnosing or using, in quotations, Dr. Google is a bad thing. Like, you know yourself and you know your symptoms better than your doctor does, and while they might know what confirms a diagnosis, going into an appointment with comparisons and your own research and what you feel is relevant to you and presenting that to the doctor and showing, like, what you relate to and what you don't is great, because they probably only have, if you're lucky, 15 minutes with you, or that's what the time frame is supposed to be. So if you can go in with, like, references and your own research, I think that's a good thing. And I don't think people should look down on self-diagnosing, because I think a lot of the time that's how we're fucking diagnosed, to be honest. Well, honestly, somebody should do a study. I'm pretty sure I'm right. What else do I want to talk about with that? A lot of things. I just lost my spot. Give me a hot sec. She switched to pen and paper, which is kind of satisfying. Like, I'm just looking at a nice moleskin notebook, and I'm very happy about it. Even, like, buying a Kindle, I'm like, nah. I like the feeling of, like, a paper, like, physical book. There goes the ADHD. Anyway, yeah, so doctors only have so much time with you, and also they have accumulated a lot of information in their time in school and as a doctor. Sorry about my dog whining in the background. I tried to tell her to stop. She's not listening. She's being pouty. She misses me. Who can blame her? And they know a lot about a lot of things. They don't know, like, that's why there's specialties. Like, some people have a specialty in one specific area of medicine, and just a general MD family doctor, they know, like, a lot about a lot. But I think that if you have been experiencing your own experience and considering a potential diagnosis like ADHD or autism or whatever the fuck, I think that you have a very good insight, obviously, kind of like, why am I saying this, to what you may have as a medical diagnosis. And I think that you should bring that in with the doctor and not be ashamed if you used Dr. Google to, like, search up symptoms and signs. Because honestly, Google, if you're looking at, like, articles and medical websites, that is so much better than, like, looking at ChatGPT fucking T and just having them tell you whatever you have. Like, I think it's a good thing. Anyway, I'm sure people do that too. And I think that there's probably a lot of people that don't really want to get a diagnosis, because one of my friends said that they thought they had autism, but they didn't want the diagnosis. And I'm pretty sure my mom has ADHD, and we've talked about it. And I just, at one day I was like, I wonder what you would be like on medication. Like, what would happen? Like, how you would feel and how you would react and how you'd function that day. And she's like, oh, I don't want to be medicated. And I'm like, it would just be like interesting to see, because she doesn't want the diagnosis and she doesn't want to be medicated, which is fine. But also, I think a diagnosis can be very validating, because I think it can help you understand yourself. And I kind of lost my spot, but I'm pretty sure I'm on the next page, question mark. Yeah, it can be super validating in the same way that me being able to call myself bisexual is very validating to me, especially the first time it happened, because I realized a lot of things, like why Jasmine and Aurora from Sleeping Beauty were my favorite princesses, and I realized why I was so obsessed with Allie in The Notebook, and I realized why I was so obsessed with Kate Winslet in the Titanic, and also Leo. So, I don't have a thing for redheads, you do. Yeah, anyway, just very validating to have labels sometimes. And I've said to people before, when I was questioning my sexuality, like, I don't know if I'm this or if I'm this. I've been thinking about it a lot. And they're like, well, why do you need to label it? And I'm like, because otherwise I'm just kind of going in circles in my brain and I'm confused and I don't feel like I have a place or a particular identity. And I feel like it gives me a sense of identity and belonging to have a label. Whether it's a diagnosis or if it's a sexual orientation. And both of those things have been very validating for me. And I started to understand a lot more about myself, and I had never really given myself grace before. And I've had a lot more grace for myself since finding that out. Like, because my ADHD manifests in ways like, I don't just see I'm going grocery shopping. What I see is I have to have the energy after a long day of work to go to the grocery store, and I need to make a list prior of meals that I've searched up and all of the ingredients I need for at least 4 meals, make a list of all of those ingredients, and then I need to drive there when I'm tired after work, and then I need to go in and I need to get it all with my list, and there's people around and it's a lot and it's loud, and then I pay for it, and then that's a bill, and then I drive it home, and then I have to put all of it away, like right away, because some of it might be cold or frozen, so it's all a really big task, it feels like. And then if I'm lucky, which usually if I get groceries, hold on, I can't do it. I'm so sorry. I can't do it. I can't do it. We'll go out there. Okay, bye. Couldn't do it. She was not stopping being whiny, so she gets kicked out. Sorry, my hair's on the microphone. I don't know if that affected anything. Yeah, I don't just see it as grocery shopping. I see it as like 75 tasks, including like dishes at the end and putting all your leftovers in like boxes. It's just a whole fucking thing. So I can either look at all of those tasks, and instead of just being like, I'm going grocery shopping, all of that plays out in my brain. And then I get paralyzed into just not doing anything. And then my brain goes, you can get takeout for $20 instead. And I'm like, yes, that one. So before, I would be very hard on myself for not going through the effort to go shopping or cooking, and felt like I was being lazy and just low motivation and affecting my financial situation, because it would be cheaper just to go and buy food and then eat it the next day for a couple of days. But I just borderline can't fathom doing it. And ever since my diagnosis, I have felt a lot more validated in that and understood in that, and my brain just works in a different way and I function a different way. But my biggest thing was being upset about feeling like I was lazy or didn't really have any motivation. But that's not fucking true, because even if I don't want to go grocery shopping, I will, however, work 6 days a week and start a podcast and just have a life throughout the last 6 months doing both of those things, or almost 6 months for the podcast. That's like more like, I don't know, 3 months or something. I don't know. We're on episode 13 right now, which is wild. Which is Taylor Swift's favorite number, by the way, which I know means nothing to all of you, but it is important to me. So this is actually a special episode because episode 13, Taylor Swift's favorite number is 13. I idolize her, and I have since I was watching Love Story in my parents' computer room at the age of 11. So, music video, obviously. Millennial vibes, even though I'm Gen Z by 1 month. That's another way my ADHD manifests. And normally, if I am doing a podcast, I feel like my little tangents, I will often just edit out because I'm like, that wasn't necessary, that wasn't fun to listen to, that wasn't really anything, that was just a weird little side quest thought that I had, and then I just take it out. But honestly, I'll probably be leaving these in because why wouldn't I? Because the topic is about ADHD, and I want people to see how neurodivergent people kind of function or struggle to function, whether it's like autism or ADHD. Yeah, which means I don't feel bad right now about having lost my spot. Give me a hot second. Yeah, the diagnosis just made me learn how to take better care of myself and have grace with myself and not overthinking too much if I take, in quotations, what I would have considered prior the easy way out, like getting takeout, or not cleaning my bedroom for a long time until the level of chaos of my bedroom looks like there was a bomb that went off in it, and it starts to affect my own mental stability, and then, only at that point, will I fully clean my room. And then I will. And then it will be fucking spotless. Like, I will have washed the walls down and taken out my little garbage and organized all my makeup and cleaned my makeup brushes. Like, I'll go 0 to 100. And I just wish that that would be balanced out over a period of time in, like, doing a little bit here and there. But it's like my brain isn't capable of that, which, for ADHD people, the kind of activation part of your brain is compromised or not. It's kind of broken. Like, the activation of a task is very difficult, I say, as it took me so fucking long to press record. And I've started record now, and we are however many minutes in. I don't want to fuck anything up by pressing a button, so I'm not actually going to look, but I feel like a normal human now, and I don't feel as anxious, and I don't feel as on edge waiting to hit record. So I wish I'd done it 2 hours ago, but here we are. And that's my life living with ADHD end episode. Just kidding, I have more to say. I also hope that either people with ADHD or people who don't have ADHD will listen to this and be like, oh, I learned something today, like either about myself or about my friend. Anyway, overall, the top symptoms are difficulty staying organized, frequently distracted, restlessness, forgetfulness, interrupting others, and impulsiveness, which in my experience, I do definitely experience all of those things, for sure. Like, I interrupt people, and my friend, I think because I actually directly asked her, like, what do people think of me when they first meet me? Because I know that I have good intentions, and I know that I love the people around me, and I know that I want to make them happy, and I want them to like me, because I want to have a connection with human beings, and I think that's okay and normal. Whoa, having a small epiphany. It's okay to care what other people think about you, because if you care what other people think about you, then their opinion matters, which their opinion would have to matter to you if you have a connection with them or if you're building a connection with them. So I think it's okay to care. It is okay to care what other people think. Because I don't know about you, but a lot of what I do, or the actions that I make in my life and the choices that I make are revolving around people that I love and have respect for, and whether they're close to me or I feel like I'm advocating for a group around me, I just do, like, Injustice sensitivity. That's another fucking symptom, by the way, that obviously hits me because I'm always talking about injustices in the world and in society and blah, blah, blah. See, where was I? Also, imagine fucking editing this podcast into something that makes coherent sense, because I'm not going to edit this one because it's about ADHD, as I said. So I want you to really get the kind of, just really get how chaotic life can be for me, whether in like conversations or tasks or starting tasks, finishing tasks, because even this is kind of like a metaphor for how I would clean my bedroom. Like, I'll take a really long time to start, get really overwhelmed, and then I'll start, and then I'll end up in the fucking kitchen wiping off the windowsill, like removing the plants and like wiping the dust off the windowsill. Like, what am I doing? I started out cleaning my room. And that's how I am right now in this podcast. I like started talking about something, and now I've jumped over 67 different places. I have no idea if any of you are following. The neurodivergent people are probably following. But yeah, it's just, it can be really chaotic. And I was talking about labels, like however many topics ago or however many segues ago. Okay, labels can be very validating for the chaos that is this gestures toward me. Because I sometimes feel like if I'm erratic or I'm jumping in between thoughts and opinions and I can't really keep it together on a one-track fucking line, I feel like I'm not showing my potential of what I'm trying to, what I'm trying to, like whatever story I'm trying to tell or whatever task I'm trying to do. Yeah, this is tricky. And I'm just gonna fucking keep going. Just keep swimming, just keep swimming. I need to find my spot. Da, 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 da. I might edit this part out, I'm not really sure. If I don't, I'm sorry, I got tired. It takes a long time to edit. Sometimes I'll edit fucking like 0.3 of a second out, by the way. Consistently. Not even sometimes. Probably at least 6 times each podcast I'll edit out like 0.3 seconds. Like, I'm so specific about this shit. And this would be a shit show to edit if it wasn't already about ADHD. But because it's about ADHD, I'm just gonna let it fucking rock. Okay. I mentioned how I asked my friend, wow, where did that topic of conversation end up going to? I don't even remember. Asked my friend what other people would think of me meeting me. And she said that I know you well, so I know that you have good intentions and you're like a nice person, but somebody meeting you might find you a bit rude because you do tend to like interrupt or take over a conversation, which is super valid. And I loved that I was able to ask her that question and she was able to give that honest response. And there was no, I wasn't offended by the answer. I was genuinely curious and I was like, fair, that's very fair. But at the same time, if you are talking to a neurodivergent person, and they interrupt you or get really into the conversation and take it over, that is a really good thing in that scenario. Like, that's a good situation because I either have to kind of sit there and think about the eye contact that I'm making if I'm not interested, or if I'm just like, I don't really agree with this, or I don't really care about this, and I'll just need to kind of be thinking about how I'm reacting but not really actually into it and kind of in my head because I'm just like, meh. But if I am interrupting you, that means that I am super enthralled and interested and excited in whatever the fuck you want to call it, in whatever you're talking about, because I would only interrupt and if I'm fully invested in what you're saying. And I'm probably listening to you a lot more closely than you think if I am interrupting you, because it's the excitement part and the impulsivity part that makes that happen. So it's really nice to have friends that are understanding of that, while also, if you do it a lot, and I do it a lot, being conscious of how much you do it to your friends, and if you do fully take over the conversation, like try to have some kind of self-awareness. I don't like when people are like, I am who I am, take it or leave it. If you don't want me at my worst, you don't deserve me at my best. It's like, you can grow in a relationship or a friendship or whatever the fuck. Like, you don't just need to stay the same shitty self that you are. You can actually grow for somebody, because what if somebody is being a good person for you and you're just like, take me or leave me? Like, grow up. You can try to be self-aware and try to get better and try to work on it. Whether or not you're successful is different, but the effort is the important part. So I have tried to register when I interrupt people and tried to kind of take it back a notch. I'm not successful in the way that I will interrupt people just as much, but I'll only get 1 or 2 words in before going, oh, that was an interruption, stop, sorry, you do yours, put a pin in mine, I'll tell you mine after, kind of thing. So I've been trying to do that. I don't know if it's going well or not. Yeah, that was all the notes that I had written down. I was just kind of hoping that, because I feel like there's other things about ADHD that I wanted to talk about, but I didn't write them down, and I thought that they would just come to me as I was recording, but they haven't really. I'm not going to make you sit here through this however long thought process. I'm just going to hit stop recording, think for a couple of minutes, and see if this is really where I am done in talking about it? Question mark? Hold on. I don't really have any other specific points to talk about, even though I'm sure there's so much more, and tomorrow I'll be like, why didn't I talk about that? Why didn't I talk about that? But I guess I just want to express that having ADHD personally is very chaotic for me, and it genuinely feels like life never slows down, and I am constantly asking myself things like, am I the drama, while I'm also overthinking, trying to be the best person that I can to other people, but also balance my boundaries, and my brain is always go, 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 go. There's no stop, really. And amongst that, my room's getting messier, and my credit card debt is getting higher because I don't want to get groceries, and my laundry pile in the corner that is clean and only needs to be folded overwhelms me. So, yeah, that's where I'm at. However, a lot better than a couple of years ago, because all of that would be happening, and then I would be like, wow, I'm the worst person, I'm the laziest person, and now I'm like, no, you're not. Look at how you work, look at how you function at your actual job, look how you started a podcast and hold yourself to it every week to post something and edit something on top of what you do at work. Like, I'm not lazy, and I had felt like I was for 26 years, and I'm not. It's just some things are really overwhelming to me, and some things aren't just one task. They are like 40 small tasks, and that's what I see. I don't just see to-do list number 1. I see to-do list 1 from A to H, and then 2, task 2, A to D, and I just see extra things in amongst everything else. And it's kind of unnecessary for my brain, and it's overwhelming, and it makes me tired. Like, I can fucking nap anywhere because my brain is just taking in so much information all the time, and it never stops, and it's very exhausting, and it's very tiring. And the dopamine seeking isn't super great because, like, combined with dopamine seeking and impulsivity, that doesn't always work out the best. Like, I considered getting a second dog and a neck tattoo in the same day. Like, that's where I'm at. How are you doing? And I was crying last week, by the way. Like, for 3 days, I just would randomly, on and off, just tears, and wasn't able to control it. Now I'm like, I went to the beach, I'm feeling good, I'm feeling confident, I'm feeling sassy, I'm feeling angry in a good way, and I want to get a neck tattoo and a second dog. And it's just like, girl, can you take 5? Can you sit in this version of Kiana for a little bit? Like maybe a month, and then kind of slowly step over to this version and just like take it a little slower, you know? But my brain and I just don't work that way. It's just go, 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 new thing, next entertainment, move on, except for clean my room, fuck that. That's the end of the episode. Okay. Thanks for coming and listening, if you were even able to follow for that long. My voice is even, I'm tired. You can hear it. It's takeout and bedtime because I ordered takeout to get a little bit of urgency on me to press record. So I'm gonna go grab that, which it should be... Hold on. Let's see how close it is. I want to check. Let you guys live vicariously through me with the joy that is my takeout being nearby. Updated time. Arrives 8:49. It is 8:40. I will take off my makeup. I will let my puppy out. I will smoke a little joint. And then I will come back in and then start playing The Good Doctor on the TV. And then I will eat my food. And then I'll have a good time. And then I'll go to bed. And the rest of the week is going to be a good week. And I hope all of you have a good week. I'm going to go now. Okay, bye.